CQ calling all radio amateurs and listeners. This is Golf Bravo 2 Romeo Sierra, the news broadcasting service of the Radio Society of Great Britain. This broadcast comes to you from amateur radio station Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Mappishall, Bedfordshire. Welcome and thanks for joining us. It's Sunday the 29th of September and here is the GB2RS news broadcast, which was prepared for you by the RSGB and it's made available to all radio amateurs and listeners. You can also find this news bulletin on the RSGB website at rsgb.org, along with links to groups and organisations that may be mentioned in this broadcast. This week's headlines. There's still time for you to book tickets for the RSGB 2024 convention. Also, we'll have news on how we're helping to promote JOTA activities in October. And we have details of our response to a recent Ofcom consultation concerning the 2.3 GHz band. We'll have more on those items shortly, but first, with just 2 weeks until the RSGB convention, this year's event is the place to be if you're interested in anything and everything to do with amateur radio. And if you haven't already bought your ticket, then a reminder to do so by Monday the 7th of October, when online bookings will close. We have a wide selection of expert speakers on subjects such as sporadic E, how to use artificial intelligence to write amateur radio programs, and other subjects such as panel debates on amateur radio modes, as well as presentations to inspire the next generation of radio amateurs. And you can see presentation summaries and speaker biographies on the RSGB speaker page. And also AMSAT UK has started to release news of its presentations, and you can see those on the RSGB's convention programme. And there really is something for everyone. If you buy tickets before the event, you'll save up to £5 off the usual on-the-day ticket prices. And by request, we've also arranged an extra introduction to the microcontroller programming workshop, which is on the Sunday morning. There are still some tickets available for Saturday's gala dinner as well. You can book your tickets for any part of the weekend, and you can find out more about the programme at rsgb.org/convention. Jamboree on the Air, also known as JOTA, runs from the 18th to the 20th of October, and it promotes friendship and global citizenship, and it's a brilliant celebration of amateur radio among groups within the Scouting Association. Some groups have already shared details of activities they've planned for the weekend, and we'll share a list of these on our communications channels. If you're part of a scouting group and you plan to get involved with JOTA, then please get in touch with us. Use the email comms, that's Charlie Oscar Mike Sierra, at rsgb.org.uk, and include a summary of your station name, call sign and any other relevant information. Now, we've responded to a recent Ofcom consultation, which would see new users sharing spectrum within the 2.3 GHz amateur band. And whilst the new devices may be limited to indoor use, we've highlighted concerns about the weak signal 2320 MHz segment. And we've also expressed our wish to review the current restrictions that apply to this band, and they date back to 2013 when it was subject to a public sector spectrum release. And you can see our response and background information in the Spectrum Forum web pages. You'll find those at rsgb.org/spectrum-forum. The October edition of Radcom includes an article about the very first two-way radio communication between the UK and New Zealand, and that was something that Sir Edward Appleton, radiophysicist and Nobel laureate, later described as probably the most dramatic moment in the history of the shortwaves. The contact was between two radio amateurs. One was in Mill Hill School in London and the other on a sheep farm in New Zealand. Centenary celebrations will be taking place in New Zealand and Mill Hill School, and special event call signs will be active from today until late October. Golf Bravo 2 November Zulu and Zulu Mike 100 Delta X-Ray will be active each day during that period and for the week of the centenary. The near actual call signs used in 1924, which was Golf 2 Sierra Zulu and Zulu Lima 4 Alpha Alpha, will be active from the 14th to the 20th of October. A commemorative certificate is available for you if you make contacts with the event stations. And for more information on the Goida Bell Award and to find out more about the centenary celebrations, go to golfbravo2novemberzulu.com. Now, lots of amateur radio stations are on the air this weekend for the Railways on the Air event, which marks the anniversary of the first steam-powered passenger railway journey on the 27th of September 1825. The first passenger train ran on a line in the northeast of England from Darlington to Stockton, and activity will be centred around 3.65, 7.15 and 14.25 megahertz. And for more information, visit the event website, which I'll spell phonetically for you. It's Romeo Oscar Tango Alpha dot Bravo Alpha Romeo Alpha Charlie .org.uk. The September 2024 issue of Radcom Basics is now available on our website for members to read. Radcom Basics is aimed at new licensees or anyone who enjoys reading about the basic principles behind the many facets of amateur radio. This issue includes articles on antenna building, home construction and getting fit with amateur radio. If you haven't already subscribed, you can do so on the RSGB membership portal. And RSGB members can read Radcom Basics by going to rsgb.org/radcom-basics. And in a similar vein, the September 2024 edition of Radcom Plus is the online magazine for the more technically minded radio amateur, and this has just been published. In it, you'll find the first article is by RSGB Chair Stuart Bryant, Golf 3 Yankee Sierra X-Ray, and he introduces using artificial intelligence to write computer software. Next, we have an article from Tony Preedy, Golf 3 Lima November Papa. He writes about how to make an efficient magnetic loop antenna. The third article by Andy Talbot, Golf 4 Juliet November Tango, dives into the interesting but perhaps unfamiliar mathematics behind the encoding algorithms used in digital data programs which we all use. And the final article is the fourth in the continuing series by Barry Chambers, Golf 8 Alpha Golf November, about his pioneering experiments at 30 terahertz. And RSGB members can read past and present issues of Radcom Plus via rsgb.org/radcom-plus. Now remember to listen out for all the 145 Alive activity which is taking place today, Sunday the 29th. In fact, that's just finished. That has just ended. So I'll give you the news anyway, but it has in fact just come to an end. Operators have been active from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And there are nets operating across the UK. And hopefully, if you took part in the event, which was designed to promote FM activity on the 2-meter band, you'll have had a good time and added to the overall effectiveness of the event. Well, now we have details of rallies and events. On Saturday the 5th of October, Carmarthen Amateur Radio Society will hold a surplus equipment sale, and that's in aid of club funds. And they're holding that at the Cwmdwyd Community Centre in Cwmdwyd, Carmarthenshire. And the postcode for your sat-nav is Sierra Alpha 336 X-Ray November. The doors open for traders from 8 a.m. and to visitors from 10 a.m. and disabled access will open at 9:30. Entrance is £2, and for more information or to book a table you can email Golf 0 Juliet Lima X-Ray @mail.com. The 49th Welsh Radio Rally is on Sunday the 6th of October. That's being held at the Llanwern High School in Hartridge Farm Road, Newport, and the postcode is November Papa 182 Yankee Echo. Traders get access from 7 a.m. and the doors open to visitors from 9:30 a.m. Entrance is £3 with free parking. For more information, you can email Mike Rackham, Golf Whiskey 4 Juliet Kilo Victor. The email address is WelshRadioRally, all one word, at gmail.com, or you can phone Mike on 07976 368 250. And now we have the special event news. Today, the 29th, it's the British Railways Amateur Radio Society's activity with special call sign Golf Bravo 1 Foxtrot Romeo Tango on behalf of the Furness Railway Trust in Preston. Operators will be on the 40-metre band using SSB, and you can QSL via the Bureau. And to read more about the station, visit Bravo Romeo Alpha Romeo Sierra.info, or you can go to qrz.com and look up the call sign Golf Bravo 1 Foxtrot Romeo Tango. During October and November, special call sign Papa Zulu 5 Juliet Tango will be back on the air from Suriname, and this is during the jungle training exercises of the Royal Dutch Army and Marines. The station is operated by personnel from the Signals Regiment, and it will operate on the 40, 20, 17, 15 and 10 metre bands. Using SSB with in-service military L3 Harris radios from different locations around Suriname, the operators will welcome your call. And to read more about this station and the event, visit qrz.com and look up the call sign Papa Zulu 5 Juliet Tango. And now we have the DX news. John, Whiskey 5 Juliet Oscar November, is active as Victor 47 Juliet Alpha. He's operating from St. Kitts Island, which is IOTA reference November Alpha 104. He'll be active until the 1st of October, and he's operating using SSB and FT8 on the 160 to 6 metre bands. You can QSL through Logbook of the World or directly to Whiskey 5 Juliet Oscar November. Vlad, Oscar Kilo 2 Whiskey X-Ray, is active as 5 Hotel 1 Whiskey X-Ray from Mafia Island. That's IOTA reference Alpha Foxtrot 054 off the coast of Tanzania. And he's active until the 6th of October. He'll be operating using Morse code, SSB and FT8 on the 80 to 10 metre bands. You can QSL via India 8 Kilo Hotel Charlie. You can find more information, including a detailed QSL policy, at the following URL, which I'll spell phonetically. So it's tinyurl.com, that's Tango India November Yankee Uniform Romeo Lima.com/5 Hotel 1 Whiskey X-Ray 2024. And now we have the contest news. The CQ Worldwide DX RTTY contest is currently in progress. It started at 0000 UTC on Saturday, and it ends a little later today at 23:59 UTC, the 29th of September. Using RTTY on the 80 to 10 metre bands where contests are allowed, the exchange is Signal Report and CQ Zone. And if you're not sure, in the UK, the CQ Zone is 14. That's 14. Another contest still in progress today is the UK Microwave Group 5.7 and 10 GHz contest. It started at 0600 and finishes at 1800 UTC today. Using all modes on the 5.7 and 10 GHz bands, the exchange is Signal Report, serial number and locator. Then on Tuesday the 1st, the RSGB 144 MHz FM activity contest runs from 1800 to 1855 UTC. Using FM on the 2 metre band, the exchange is Signal Report, serial number and locator. Also on Tuesday the 1st, the RSGB 144 MHz UK activity contest runs from 1900 to 2130 UTC. This contest uses all modes on the 2 metre band, and the exchange is Signal Report, serial number and locator. On Wednesday the 2nd, the RSGB 144 MHz FT8 activity 4-hour contest runs from 1700 to 2100 UTC. Using FT8 on the 2 metre band, the exchange is Report and 4-character locator. In the same evening, Wednesday the 2nd, it's the RSGB 144 MHz FT8 activity 2-hour contest, and that runs from 1900 to 2100 UTC. Also using FT8 on the 2 meter band, the exchange is report and 4-character locator. And if you entered the 4-hour contest, you may also enter the 2-hour contest. Another one for Wednesday the 2nd, it's the UK and Ireland Contest Club's 80 metre contest, and that runs from 2000 to 2100 UTC. Using SSB on the 80 metre band, the exchange is your 6-character locator. Then we have the Oceania DX SSB contest. That starts at 0600 UTC on Saturday the 5th and ends at 0600 UTC on Sunday the 6th of October. Using SSB on the 160 to 10 metre bands where contests are allowed, the exchange is signal report and serial number. The RSGB October 432 MHz to 245 GHz contest starts at 1400 UTC on Saturday the 5th and ends at 1400 UTC on Sunday the 6th of October. Using all modes on the 432 MHz to 245 GHz bands, the exchange is signal report, serial number and locator. Then on the same day, same time and same frequencies, it's the IARU 432 MHz to 245 GHz contest running concurrently. So that's from 1400 UTC on Saturday the 5th to 1400 UTC on Sunday the 6th. Using 432 MHz to 245 GHz bands, the exchange is signal report, serial number and locator. On Saturday the 5th, another one, it's the RSGB 2.3 GHz trophy contest, and that runs from 1400 to 2200 UTC. Using all modes on the 2.3 GHz band, the exchange is signal report, serial number and locator. And also on the 5th, it's the RSGB 1.3 GHz trophy contest, running from 1400 to 2200 UTC. Using all modes on the 1.3 GHz band, the exchange is signal report, serial number and locator. Well, that's all for the contest news. We now have the HF radio propagation report, and this was compiled by Golf 0 Kilo Yankee Alpha, Golf 3 Yankee Lima Alpha and Golf 4 Bravo Alpha Oscar on Wednesday the 25th. Well, solar activity is back to moderate levels with an M3.7 solar flare which was detected on the 22nd of September. Newly assigned active region 3835 in the southeastern quadrant is the main source, and the event looks to have thrown a stream of plasma into space. The latest model suggested a possible passage near our planet by the 25th, and the prediction was correct. The Space Weather Prediction Center issued a G1 geomagnetic storm watch, and visible aurora may be likely at very high latitudes. Expect maximum usable frequencies to decline if the KP index is above 4 or 5. Other than a large number of C-class solar flares in the past 5 days, this was the biggest eruptive event to occur. The solar flux index has declined to 172 as of Wednesday the 25th, but it's unlikely to decrease much further. And note that nearly all the sunspots are in the sun's southern hemisphere at the moment. Meanwhile, daytime maximum usable frequencies over a 3,000 kilometre path are now consistently over 28 megahertz, and that's under quiet geomagnetic conditions. And this is good news for fans of the 10 metre band. Nighttime maximum usable frequencies over 3,000 kilometres are around 14 to 16 megahertz, so it looks like we may soon lose the 24-hour DX openings on the 20 metre band, which are prevalent in the summer months. Increased solar proton flux at the moment means that paths over the Arctic Circle may be compromised. Daytime critical frequencies remain over 8 MHz and often reach nearly 11 MHz, so near vertical incident system communications around the UK on the 40 metre band remains commonplace, but may disappear later in the evening. And NOAA predicts that the solar flux index will increase next week, but may not reach the 200s. But keep an eye on solarham.com for daily updates. That's all for the HF propagation news. We now move to the VHF and up propagation predictions from Golf 3 Yankee Lima Alpha and Golf 4 Bravo Alpha Oscar. The The present run of unsettled weather has become firmly established, and although many parts of the country have not seen the torrential rain and flooding of last week, there will be some rain at times in most parts of the country during the first week of October. There are a couple of brief periods in the models when a weak ridge of high pressure is due to cross southern areas, but those are not seen as great for Troppo. The week beginning Monday the 30th of September sees at least two major lows pass close to northern Britain. One occurs as this weekend draws to a close, and there may be another one later in the week. And these types of changeable patterns are notorious for problems with detailed predictions beyond a few days, although the general weather type is well forecast. And just a reminder that strong wind events at the end of a long summer can be a big shock to antennas, so now's a very good time to check that all is well with your antenna guys. Having discounted Troppo as an option, the obvious choice will be rain scatter on the gigahertz bands, but some of these events may produce very fast-moving echo sources, so it could be quite a challenge, although last week saw plenty of good rain scatter conditions. Meteor scatter is again largely dependent upon random meteors, with just a couple of lesser showers, those being the Kappa Leonids and the Sextanids, which see out the end of September. The auroral situation continues to provide some excitement, and the autumn months are a good time of the year for such things. For moon bounce or EME operators, moon declination is still positive and will remain so until Tuesday evening, so moon visibility windows are shortening. Path losses are high, with apogee next Wednesday the 2nd of October. Thursday the 3rd sees near eclipse conditions when the sun and moon are close in the sky, and that means high noise with wider beamwidth antennas. 144 MHz sky noise is, in general, low for the rest of the week. And that's all from the propagation team this week. And indeed, that's all for this week's GB2RS News broadcast, which was brought to you by Graham, Golf 4 Juliet Bravo Delta in Meppershall, Bedfordshire. The news was compiled by the Radio Society of Great Britain, who represent amateur radio and radio amateurs in the UK and abroad. If you have a news item to share, please email it to us as far in advance as possible so we can include it for you free of charge in the Golf Bravo 2 Romeo Sierra news broadcast, Radcom magazine and the RSGB website. Send it to the editorial team, whose email address is radcom@rsgb.org.uk. And if your news items are time sensitive, please send them to us by 10 a.m. on the Thursday before the news broadcast. And the RSGB will retain the copyright over all material transmitted. You can find information about amateur radio on our website, which is rsgb.org, and you can also download the full schedule of GB2RS broadcasts from rsgb.org/GB2RS schedule. Well, we wish you 7-3 from the GB2RS news team, hoping you've had a lovely Sunday and hoping you have a nice evening and a great week ahead, and I'll be back again next week. Now, if you called in before the news, I do have you on the list, so no need to call in now. But if you wish to join the net, give me a call now and I'll pop you on the list. And I'm going to be using commemorative call sign Golf 5 Mike Hotel Zulu for the net, and that's in memory of Gordon Adams, whose hard work helped to secure our allocation in the 5 MHz bands. So this is Graham, Golf 5 Mike Hotel Zulu, now listening for any calls or reports.